This is Thurston Rider again. Just taking another bike ride on another wonderful sunny evening. Actually, I think I like this day better. A little bit windier, but it just feels, I don't know, hard to tell. Despite the wind that's going, actually it feels more relaxing. I'm basically on my way up to North Lacey to do a little bit of analyzation on the land that they're building that Meridian gas station on. Just because I'm curious. Probably nothing going on yet, probably no building, but I feel for the residents that live up there. I don't blame them. You know, because of the park. Cheating. I don't feel like major road riding right now. Besides, I love taking a shortcut. And I have to remember this is a shared path, so I better slow down. Nice. My tires are still intact. Good. I was worried about that. Sound up there, so sometimes when you ride north it makes cycling a little difficult. Can't even hear what's behind me either. Oh, look at all that Canadian honkers. All the flying poop machines on wings. They're beautiful, but they're messy. The other way, it's actually more fun. Come on, get up the hill. Come on, you can do it. Don't fail me. Whew, got a whiff of that. That was not a pleasant smell. I can tell you that. Now I'm probably gonna get rabies. And those hasn't happened in the bike lane. Always the bike lane. Of course, I really don't call these bike lanes. These are more like shoulders. can never get in that left lane. I never can. Every time I need to do that. That's what everybody wants to come. And then plus it's a hill. Plus, the wind likes to blow against you. So that makes it a little bit more difficult. Can't even get my breath. Getting old and I'm weaking out. Can't ride like I used to. A lot of power boxes. By the way, in case I was curious, raccoon is actually a pretty good dish if prepped right. And you're probably thinking, well, that's disgusting. Actually, that's what I thought first. Years ago, we had this hillbilly neighbor, kind of cool guy. This raccoon got hit on the road. So he went ahead after a shop of misery. He took it to his woodshed, butchered it, made a Davy Crockett hat for his son, and his wife made raccoon stew, which it looked like beef, kind of. Looked like steak, had the texture of it, but it was white like chicken. It actually tasted pretty good. I was actually afraid to try it. But then again, all meat really is muscle tissue. That's all it is. No matter what mammal it comes out of. And even if you're a vegetarian or vegan and you want to eat vegetables, well, same thing. It may not be muscle tissue, but it's still a biological tissue. And just some people get a little bit more grossed out on eating mammal as opposed to plants, you know, the plantae, or the mammalian, or the amphibian, or however you pronounce that. It was years since I took biology, so if I get it wrong, correct me. I hate this roundabout. How they do this the hard way all the time. But I know I should have just taken you in the nose. All of a sudden I'll do this the wussy way. So we have this habit of, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but having this habit of cutting on and off sidewalks and curbs and stuff, in and out of bike lanes, in and out of vehicle lanes. Now I think that's stupid. Bike lane, that's fine if it's clear, but a vehicle lane, only if it's clear. If not, I wouldn't try it, that's for sure. Piss a lot of people off. Since I try and do what I can to be a better cyclist, do the best I can. I've been cycling for over 20 years, but I've only been screamed at 2 times and told to get this thing off the road, which I refuse. And by the way, when you approach a cyclist, never ever ever tell a cyclist to get their bike off the road. They have every right to use the road as everyone else. Within reason, of course. I mean, they have to follow the laws. And there are exceptions that apply to cyclists that do not apply to automobiles. cheat and you get an e-bike. They have this kit called the switch kit that you can attach to your bicycle, switch out the wheels, and you can turn your regular bike into an e-bike. I'm not sure how effective it is, but it's advertised like hell. Red light, red light, red light. If I read correctly, the City of Lacey is planning, now don't quote me on this, I could be wrong, I just got this based off a city council video on YouTube, and if what was being presented is understood in the way it was presented, they should be replacing the signal sensors. But again, I could be wrong, so don't take my word 100% for it. Another thing on the agenda that I read was there's agreement between Thurston County and its municipalities and intercity transit for a transit signal priority system, meaning that intercity transit will be able to change the signals from red to green, so they don't have to stop at every signal. Stop every signal. I can't even talk. That doesn't sound good. Casino sidewalk was closed. Wow. Well, I guess that's a surprise. Whole road's closed. Well, that sucks. You got a route planned out and you never know what roads are going to be closed. Oh well. Okay. Back to the drawing board. Actually, no, it's this next one I needed. Not that one. What's wrong with my brain? It went bye-bye a long time ago. Stupid pandemic. We'll just blame it on the COVID pandemic instead of blaming it on older age. That's a perfect excuse. There we go. Storage. Storage, more storage. Storage, more storage. I feel like everywhere I go there's storage. That's a nice view of the mountain, that's for sure. At least for now, I don't know what they're building there. Either business park or more houses or apartments. Not sure. Not sure. I think we're on the right way. I think. Up the hill with the wind. Two bad combinations. So yeah, they're taking it a little easier. Not burn myself out here. Also, the fact that I'm 20 pounds overweight from hormonal issues, I'm gonna have to get that nipped in the bud soon. So I'm not happy with myself. I'm not having as much fun. I like to be like a feather, I like to glide. And when the general public starts going faster than me, then I know there's a problem. Normally I'm faster than most people. I've only been overtaken a couple times on bike, but on foot, everybody seems to walk faster. They all seem to have this magical stride where they put a little effort and they go 100 miles an hour. No, fuck that. Living in suburbia is not as healthy as living in the compact metro cities, but that's debatable. Depends on the city, depends on emergency response times, depends on quality of life, all sorts of variables. I would say New York, I'm guessing New York City probably would have a lower life expectancy for for most of those not cycling, but driving, because they're not staying active, and emergency response times are slow as hell.
Arterials, emergency vehicles, depending on traffic conditions, can actually move a lot faster. Oh, nice Mustang. I should have bought one of those, but no, it's cheaping out. I just wanted a cheaper, affordable, reliable car. I don't have to own a nice car to enjoy a nice car. I can just look at them and watch somebody else make the payments. Yeah, I know it's not the same. Some people say, well, if you have a car like that, you can attract the chicks. It's a chick magnet. I don't give a fuck. If somebody only likes you because of the kind of car you drive and not the person you are, then it's not real anyway. So why bother? I don't need fucking approval from anybody. I don't believe in approval. I'm a Sigma. I go my own way, I do my own thing. I don't play that alpha or beta game. But then you have a lot of alphas and betas that try and pretend like they're Sigmas, which is not the real thing. And you can only tell by watching them. If they're always looking for acceptance or approval, they're not a Sigma. I wonder if I went the right way. Seems like it's taking longer to get there, or I'm going slower or something. I think it's up here. I remember getting there a little quicker. Yeah, it's up here. People are damn garbage. Just throwing shit in the bike lane. Oh, these cyclists, they're so entitled. How dare they get their own bike lane? Well, you know, bike lanes benefit motorists too. They keep us out of the lane most of the time. But keep in mind too, cyclists can still take the right portion of the roadway outside of the bicycle lane. So, mostly because of debris, potholes, bad roadways. Here we go, Campus Glen. So that's what's going to be developed, maybe, if I'm looking at the right land. I don't see any bulldozers yet. It'd be nice if you didn't have to, but I think maybe like some small shops wouldn't be bad for integrating with a particular neighborhood, but a gas station with all the ones around here, yeah, right, that's just overkill. I thought the whole purpose was to get as many gas powered cars off the road. I know it's going to be a while. My car's a gas car because I can't afford an e-vehicle right now. In fact, I'm still debating if I even want to save up for a house or not. I don't know what I want for the future. First of all, I got to get my career going before it's too late and I'm too old to get hired. You know, you have these goals set up for you decades ago. You follow up through them, and it seems like life just happens. All sorts of stuff happens to kind of get in your way, obstacles, and then it's harder to get back in that groove. I've had to take a break
from school multiple times because of family, because of job, mismanagement of the job is a major thing that can wear you out, kill your grades. I just hate toxic people, especially managers. In fact, I hate hierarchy, but our world is so obsessed with it. All because of the small percentage of idiots out there. Everybody else has to follow these rules, which is fine. I don't need the rules to follow. I already use my common sense. The rules pretty much cover just common sense, at least most of them. Some of them are just bullshit, like making your workers wear a particular dress code or uniform. To me, that's unconstitutional. I don't give a fuck what any corporation says. I hate corporations. My dad tried to warn me about them. I'm pretty sure my grandparents' generation, the World War II generation, probably were warning us about those a little bit too. Nobody in my family throughout the generations that I know of have ever worked for a corporation. They've worked the typical industrial jobs in the shipyard, naval bases, maybe lumber mills, I don't know. The trade jobs mostly. And what really sucks is the fact that you get like left style small businesses, not the right-wing ones, but the left, well, some right-wing, and then corporations will try and mimic that. They'll steal the business model and the products, and they'll try and sell those too, just to compete and take clientele away from those small shops and into the big box stores. That's why I laugh when stores like WM, I'm not going to name any names or initials because I don't want any litigation. Not that I give a fuck, they can sue me all they want, I have nothing to give anyway, but I just won't mention names just to be nice. Avoid that altogether. But yeah, they'll sit there and sell organic stuff, and I'm thinking, why are you selling organic stuff? The only time you never had organic stuff until people decided they were going a little left on the spectrum. Then you got out of your right-wing ways, or your extreme right, and started mimicking the left. So basically, it tells me that they don't really give a care about selling that product. They just only want to sell it just to make their profit because it's hot on the market. Oh, this hell's killing my legs. Should have checked my tire pressure. Probably should have put the proper pressure, and I put 70 pounds each tire. Maybe that's my problem. Should have did with 60 or 65, or is this me? One of the two. But this route always wears me out. It's hilly, windy, long. Roundabout up here, I'm gonna take it slow so I'm not being blocked out of it. Had to come. Bad timing. That just sucked.
I got blocked, I didn't get blocked out, but I was forced to stop because I was hoping to avoid. They all wanted to come at the same time. It's almost like when you're in the supermarket and you're about to check out. There's nobody in the lines, or barely any. You grab that one product, only takes you a minute, then you get back to the checkouts, and then you have lines going all the way out of them. And you're thinking, where did these people come from? It's almost like, normally I'm a speed walker, but there are some of these older mature ladies that seem to have a lot of power in those legs, or they weigh as light as a feather, and no matter how fast you walk, they barely put any effort, and they're already like up at those checkouts faster than you can say let's go. It's amazing. Also, I think too that men usually have more muscle mass, so we tend to be a little heavier. This is a weird stretch. No matter how fast you go, it feels like it takes forever. It's like it doesn't end. Bumps. Pavement. More bumps. Rough pavement and bumps are detrimental to cycling. They will slow you down.
you go. No, you're good. That's another thing about crossing in crosswalks. I mean, bicyclists can do that, but at this roundabout, technically, you're not supposed to ride through. Well, you can by state law, but it's not recommended for riding through. That's probably one reason, but even crossing the crosswalks, that kind of stuff can happen. So you just got to use caution. Some people say, well, you're supposed to just mount and walk. Well, yeah, technically, I haven't seen anything in the law stating you have to, and it's actually more dangerous to just mount and walk as opposed to just riding, because you need to be on the bike to get out of the way of a vehicle that may not be stopping when you're in the middle of the crosswalk. When you're pedestrian, all you have are your legs to rely on. Bicycle, you could just zip if you're trained enough. Alright, I'm going to take a, let's see, you got to fix that, take that curve out of there. At least modified so you don't have to go in the traffic lane. People say, well, bicycles are not cars. I beg to differ. Bikes aren't cars. I like proof they're a car. Sure, I'll do that. Go ahead. We'll do that. So when we were cars, is the fact that if you're pretty well, your endurance is up, you have the right bike, like something like this, you can get up to about 40-45 miles an hour if you're really good. Average speed 30-35. Feels good. Nice one. Good job. Let's go through the red light. Traffic.
to the cars thing, this bike has a very nice engine on it, and it has a horn, and it runs on gasoline. It's got all the gauges you need. You can go from 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. But, oh yeah, I'm a car. But yet I'm not a car. So make up your mind, people. Regardless of what argument a person has. Whoops, that wasn't good. Cyclists have been using the roadways since about the mid 1800s, even though roadways were, changed a lot throughout the years. Bicycles on these routes before automobiles. However, today's roadways, since the 50s, 40s, 50s, 60s, at least maybe the 30s, roadways have been primarily developed for cars, vehicles, because more people were shoving the bicycles aside and doing most of their traveling by car. And a lot of this construction that they're doing on these roadways, adding bike lanes, this infrastructure, they're basically just redeveloping. All right, we get it. Yep, no, I'm not going to say it. They're just redeveloping the roadways the way they should have been built years ago to accommodate all modes of transportation, not just cars. Since more people now are getting back on the bicycle. And sure, it's not for everybody. A lot of us, we get that. We're not forcing you and saying you have to get on a bicycle. We're not here to take over the roadways. I know some of the more inexperienced cyclists or some of the elitists can be a pain in the ass. But what roadway user is perfect? It doesn't matter whether you drive a car, ride a bike, walk on foot, take public transportation. There are people that are going to make it a pain in the ass. That's just life. That's cool. Imagine riding those on the dirt. Imagine how much those things cost just for recreation. I know bicycles got pretty expensive. Mainly due for inflation and stock issues. But they're still cheaper than a car. Cheaper. Sent a request in the county to have this fixed,
it doesn't look like it's fixed, so it's not going to work. Shade feels good. Get a good speed, that's when somebody wants to turn. I'm also tired of these rocks in the bike lane. It's better off having them in the travel lanes, because vehicles can run over those small rocks a lot better than a bike can. But there shouldn't be any rocks in any portion of the roadway at all. It's unsafe. I don't know how often they sweep these streets. I'm probably going to put in a request to have this road swept. I'll go this way to something different. Look at the park. Oh yeah, that's right, I'm a car. I forgot about that. Roadways are not made for cars. I love picking on these anti-cyclists. Most of their arguments are barely valid. There are only a couple good points, but any point they make, generally for the ones that are valid, there's a lot more to those that have to have support. It's weird, back in the 1980s, you used to see cyclists on the roads back then too. Maybe not as much, but I don't ever remember or recall people yelling at cyclists to get their bike off the road. I didn't see that till about the millennium, and generally it seems to come from some of these I'm not going to be stereotypical, I'll try not to, but these types that would drive a pickup truck. It's generally, well, no, that's not true, because I got yelled at by somebody in that car, but they're never rational when something happens. Instead of just like, you know, blindly explaining, like, I know you're trying to get so-and-so, but can you like use the hand signal so we know your turn or something like that? But no, you get those that say, get that thing off the street. I'm like, no, fuck you, I'm not taking it off the street, motherfucker. Fuck no. The law states I can ride on it, on the streets, I'm gonna ride on the streets, I don't care. And for those of you who get offended by cussing, I normally don't cuss. These are my, except for when I'm like do stuff like this, these are my videos, I'm gonna cuss. Freedom of speech. But when I'm in like the workplace or professional setting, no, I'm not gonna cuss. Come on. I don't know if that's legal, but I gotta get on this road somehow. The example I was talking about earlier, there's times where a cyclist will sometimes make decisions to cut corners or cut sidewalks, you know, roadway surfaces and stuff, and not necessarily because we're lazy or stupid or we don't know what the rules are. It's because the way the infrastructure is, sometimes you'll get trapped and you're not going to be able to get up to speed with traffic, but at the same time you can't just stop or you get yourself trapped and then you're fucked. That's a good thing I waited, because I forgot to downshift a gear and that would have been kind of a disaster. Last thing I want to do is make motorists slam on their brakes. That's not what I want to do. Not part of my plans. I don't want to piss people off. I just want to be the best cyclist I can be. Just like I try and be the best driver I can be. I obey the posted speed limits. I follow almost every single rule in the book. We're not perfect. If traffic gets past me at 15 over the posted speed limit, I'll at least do 5 over or 7, just to prevent from being a hazard, but not going fast enough to where if somebody gets an accident, then I'm going to end up in the same one. Gas prices are, last time I checked, they were like $5.99, almost $6 a gallon. That was like a week or two ago, I think. And my car doesn't get the best fuel economy, but regardless of what car you own, regardless of the fuel economy, the best fuel saving is by driving less and keeping your tires, your car maintained, your tires up to the proper pressure, so forth. I think when I get home, I'm gonna go on YouTube, watch city council videos on the Meridian gas station proposal. I love watching that. I love watching that outburst. It's freaking hilarious. But yeah, I'm almost getting close to home, so thank y'all for watching. It's been fun. I know I haven't really done much with my YouTube channel, but I'm trying to do a little bit more and make some sort of interesting content to watch. So I'm gonna go home, work on some of that, and I'll see y'all later. Ciao.